you and Lisa to man the gates as people show up. That'll be fantastic. So thank you for joining Morning Coffee with me, Ivan Sutton. And today our topic is building confidence. But before we go there, I just want to talk about some of the announcements coming up. It's nice to see Roshan here. And by the way, I want to welcome our visitors. Karen, nice seeing you. And Ben, nice of you to join us from Florida. That's beautiful. Love it. And of course, Nathaniel, nice to see you as well. All right. So this week, right afterwards, of course, we have our discussion lounge. And I think I have a few meetings that I'll have during that lounge as well. But the members are definitely welcome to stick around for the lounge. All right. And then tomorrow on Tuesday, 9:30 a.m., Nathan will be presenting Money Matters. Nathan, do you have a sec to kind of go through that? Nathan, is Nathan even here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm actually on the road right now, so I can't really talk. But just to give you a brief summary, it's going to be a pretty unstructured sort of discussion around basic investing principles, asset allocation criteria, that kind of thing. And we'll kind of go through some examples of what a balanced portfolio would look like. And again, just keep it very high level and just sort of educate people about that type of high level stuff.
Great. So bring your questions for Nathan for tomorrow. Be sure to mark your calendars. Then Tuesday at 12:30, Jennifer Ferris and Jacqy Stewart are continuing their series on mindset and momentum. Jacqy, for the folks that have not attended, do you want to just give us the Coles notes?
Yeah, we're talking about all things that make you tick. So how do you get over where you're stuck, where you're feeling blocked? We'll give you some tips or techniques on different things that you can incorporate into your day and into your businesses in order to thrive rather than feeling bogged down by everything all the time.
Yes, and Lord knows with all these ongoing lockdowns, sometimes you can feel bogged down, right? So that is tomorrow. And then Wednesday, 9:30 a.m., we have Real Estate Investing with Yuri Nesbitt. Folks, if you have any hope of understanding this market, you have to come in and talk to Yuri because Yuri's quite brilliant. And he explains why does it cost $1.2 million for a one-bedroom apartment in Toronto. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But hopefully there'll be a crash coming soon. I don't know. Then that's on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Kitchener is holding their virtual networking event. All right. So it doesn't matter what city you're in. Everyone, members and guests, are invited to attend the Kitchener networking event. Right. And of course, Jennifer Ferris is our city leader there. Go ahead and wave, Jennifer. Woohoo! Go, Jennifer. All right. So definitely, and also coming up soon, we have our Barrie networking event, and Jacqy Stewart, of course, is our city leader for Barrie, and of course, I'm the city leader here in Hamilton. We have a live networking event coming up on the 23rd. Right here. So check the website homepage, the calendar for details on all of the live and virtual networking events that are coming up. All right. Then so that event goes from Wednesday at 5:00 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. Then Thursday, Catherine Davies has Tech Talk. What's up on Tech Talk, Catherine?
I'm just going to be staying up on some of the latest stuff. There's year-end reports on Tesla's performance, see if they've got that heat pump thing that's only important in Canada because it's minus 13, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Anywhere in lower Canada and the upper states, man, that heat pump is important on days like today.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's awesome. So thank you, everybody. And so I'm just going to go ahead and hand it off to Lisa and Jacqy. You guys take over.
Lisa?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa. I have been asked by Ivan, actually, and Jacqy. We're going to co-host this little shindig today for you. We are talking about building confidence. right?
Yeah. Yes, we are. So, hello, I'm with it. It's Monday morning. We will start with the definition of confidence, which is belief in oneself and one's powers or abilities. And I want to emphasize the fact that this is a belief. Confidence, the equation for confidence is competence over time. So many of us get stuck because we don't want to do something until we feel confident doing it. And yet you can't build the confidence doing it until you actually do it. So it is this idea that in whatever you're working on and whatever areas you want to build in, you've got to actually do the thing numerous times in order to really build that confidence in it. So let's start with questions about what are your thoughts about confidence? Where do you feel the most confident? Where are the areas that are you're avoiding because you don't feel as confident in them? And really, I'd look at what are you avoiding?
I'll start us off, actually. You know, when Ivan first talked to me about this, and he said, you know, I really struggled with this in my professional career. Before I started in Express, I couldn't tell you how to ship a package. I mean, I walked to Canada Post, they did the paperwork for me, and off it went. I hope that it got there. So it took a lot for me to get the confidence to do what I do now. It took me a while. However, once I changed my mindset and said that, you know, this is what I need to do, whether, you know, I had to gain the knowledge and I had to actually learn what my abilities were and skills and kind of brush up on what I needed to. Now I can do about anything at work. So I was definitely struggling in my professional side as opposed to life. Life, I had my confidence. I was good. I knew what I was doing. I could do my mom job. I could do my wife. I could do all my jobs confidently. Work, I struggled until I actually got that mindset in work to have that confidence. It changed my life because we went from, you know, my biggest thing was I had to pick up the phone and failure. You have to be able to accept that failure in order for you to build that confidence. And then just like you said, Jacqy, you need to practice. You need to do until it actually works. And when it does, it's life-changing. So that was my experience. Anybody else?
I'm going to pop in there for 1 second and just in that word failure is unavoidable. I mean, we look at that all the time. And when we flip it into failure actually equals feedback, right? And every time that I go off, when I'm learning and building the confidence in something new, I can then take what I learned from that situation and apply it. And that is how I get better. Yes. Ben has his hand up.
I'm sorry. Yes. Actually, yesterday and before yesterday, I guess in this weekend, I was struggling with it, but I've been struggling for it all my life. Okay. In other words, sometimes what you do is like, I call it like death avoidance. Yes. Nobody wants to die. But at the same time, you want to push it somewhere, but you really cannot do nothing about it because that's who you are. And you want to express who you are and to want to do what you are and want to be one in time with what you do. But sometimes the mind, what it does, and it was doing with me, especially here in the United States, because I'm in Miami, Florida, and what was doing is, oh my God, taxes, should I open a LLC or Inc. or, you know, in other words, you know, you were negotiating with yourself, but not to do it. In other words, putting obstacles of trying to do something instead of saying, yeah, I know how to do cookies. I'm going to do cookies. I'm going to sell cookies. I don't care what will happen. So I was thinking, you know, like processing it with myself. And I said, hell, I need to do like Nike. Just do it. You know what I mean? I just need to do it. You know what I mean? I just need to do it. And I put it in my, whatever board I put, like, so I remember things. I'm getting senior. But what I'm going with that is there is a struggle. There's another book that is not is the War of Art. In other words, there's a war inside of you that procrastination, this, that, the other thing. You really don't want to get what you want because you want to push it away. So you want to have the desire of in the fantasy in your mind to get what you want. It's
one of the crazy points, just to add to that, Ben, is that that I liked. I think Lisa said it. Is that well, no, Jacqy said it. Is that failure is inevitable, right? And it's only because we set our sights so high that we want everything and we want it now, and we want it without pain. And you know, you're running a business, you're going to have pain, right? So once you hit that failure point, you just have to go. You know what? That's cool because this is part of the game, right?
Of course. And
fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Make it till you make it.
You got it. So at the same time, that struggle that is very internal. It's not, of course, it's external, but there's a moment that the external and the internal become one, and then you accept where you are. And the moment you accept where you are, you will accept what you want to do. And that moment is like a magical moment that you accept failure and you do what you need to do, and whatever is in your road, whatever you encounter, how many animals, you're still going inside Canada because you have a lot of natural. Yeah, I want to go to that peak. But
yeah, okay. Hey, Ben, I know that these guys want to get through their presentation.
Okay,
so come back to you.
Sorry.
Okay?
Yes.
All right. Thanks, man.
Aiden?
Yeah, so what I was going to say is the thing that the thing I'm having low confidence with right now that I'm actually supposed to be doing but haven't been doing, have been procrastinating and putting off because I'm not confident in it, is Vimeo. I've never worked with Vimeo before. I've never put a Vimeo together, but it's but I have to put together an advertising video. I've never done one, so I'm very iffy on that, and don't feel 100% confident in that. But I know I got to get it done. I know it's a project I have to do. It's something that's part of my business I have to get done. It's something that a client has asked me to do.
So I'm going to offer you two things there. One, I'm going to challenge you to change your I have to do it and look at it from the perspective of I get to learn something new and I get the opportunity to be able to create this for my client, right? And I'm going to get to learn all of the new skills along the way. The other thing I'm going to get you to ask yourself is, if you were to start it today, how can I? And that question will help to open up resources for you. You don't have to know it all. And I bet you anything, there's probably someone on this call who has made a Vimeo before. You may then suddenly think of someone else in your life that might have those skills, that they can break it down for you into baby steps so that it doesn't seem like this huge overwhelming thing of wanting to go from zero to the end instantly, and look at it as a process. What's the first thing that I need to learn? What's the first thing that I need to do in order to begin to build my competence in this new area? If that's helpful.
Yeah, that's basically where I need to go. Absolutely. Yes.
Is there anyone on this call who knows anything about Vimeo that might be able to help?
Okay, I've done video. I don't know if I know about it. Okay, I'm just saying, because I got the same message, right? And Ivan was the biggest proponent of that, to get that video done and get it out. And it's scary, and it's not always pretty at first, right? And that's okay, because you can do multiple takes. You can edit, right? And there's some pretty simple programs for editing. And then it's something, I mean, I just asked Ivan on last week, okay, but this isn't fitting the frame. What am I? He says, well, isn't there this? And I went, I didn't see it. But because he said it, I went searching for it and found it, right? So every video, I mean, they're still not anywhere professional, but they're improving on everyone. So maybe give yourself a bit of a break and just get it out there, because I have noticed people don't judge us as harshly as we judge ourselves.
Oh, 100%. You will see all the flaws in it. Someone else will watch it and be like, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Jacqy?
Yes.
The worst video out there is the one you don't take.
Yes. You're brilliant.
I just started. I put out my first professionally edited video on my channel, and I mean it's probably the worst, you know. And then I'm gonna change it along the way, but you know it's there. I got like, I don't know, 12 views or something like that in 1 or 2 days. So you know it's there. And
I saw your one of Niagara Falls, Yuri. He was just down at Niagara Falls. And,
yeah, that I mean, that's just my personal. You have the privilege to see that because you're my personal friend.
Oh, well, sure. But it was, I mean, maybe that's a way, Aiden, is just start doing personal stuff and feeling more comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, it's they don't recommend to have a very dry business, you know, all business. Sometimes you got to throw, you know, your trip to Niagara, your fishing trip, your, you know, appreciation day or something like that, right? So it's got to be a mixture. You shouldn't be boring. And again, I got this not a script, but a manual kind of thing, how to take video. And one of those things, it says that nobody likes a script reader. Just be yourself. Like, I mean, yeah, everybody's awing and, well, look at I saw this meme with Justin Trudeau and Doug Ford, or no, not Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau was talking, and somebody else was counting how many awes he had. You know? And they were drinking. There was a drinking game, right? So.
Yeah, but you can't compare Trudeau to or Ford to Aiden. Aiden is much nicer and better. Yeah. Actually, Aiden, you say this is for a client. Do you have a deadline?
Yeah, I've actually kind of surpassed the deadline, actually. Okay. But that's how badly I've procrastinated it, because
I know the feeling.
Enough.
Hey, Aiden, I got to tell you, I don't like the way that I do my videos. I have to be honest with you. The other day, I was so frustrated with the video I was trying to shoot that I called up Catherine and I said, Catherine, can you do it, please? Yeah. So, you know, video is tough for everybody, even me.
Like, the thing is, I have lots of other videos that I've done, right? That I have a YouTube channel and I have lots of videos on there, but they're not Vimeo. Like, I've never worked with Vimeo. That's the thing. And I'm just now, you know, like, because I wanted to put together because I've been asked by my client to do an advertising video, I figured Vimeo would probably be the best editor for that. And so, because I know that Carlos Herrera has used that, and a few other people that I know, professionals that I know, have used that, and put out advertising video with that. So I know that it can be done with that. Mm-hmm. So and it looks very good. But I want to know how you can put those funky things in there and stuff like that. I have no idea. But like how are you supposed to take your video, then put those other things in there and put music in the background? I don't know. But
this sounds like a training call that we can do in the future.
Training, or come in to the lounge, because that's where we're supposed to ask our members to help each other, whether it be referrals or brainstorming, right? Like, these guys got me over a big hurdle I've been having regarding my membership site. I was stuck on this one part, right? So, yeah.
Amazing. Catherine's right, and you get a lot out of those sessions when you can pick each other's brains. And again, it's looking for resources, right? And we are all a resource for one another. Yeah. Any other thoughts on confidence? where you get stuck, what stops you, or on the flip side of that, what do you do when, you know, you want to show up confidently? And then
Jacqy,
sorry, Thomas. I was just going to say, one of my coaches said, it really resonated with me, is that action actually equals courage, right? When we take the action, we develop the courage. So it kind of becomes this cycle that feeds itself. And that's what I do when I'm like hesitating or worried or stressed about something. I just say, F it. I'm doing it. And I put a deadline on it. I give myself 5 minutes to mentally like prep my brain or whatever. And then I thing, because I know that I have, and I'm sure many of us here have, spent 6 or 8 or 12 days, hours, weeks, minutes, whatever, agonizing over something that takes us 5 minutes.
Right.
Because it's new or it's scary or we just don't want to. And we spend all of this time, energy, and effort being like, I don't want to. And then you do it and you're like, oh, well, that was easy.
Well, it's never as bad as we created it to be in our heads.
It's never as bad. Never.
Roshan?
Like I had a huge issue with procrastination, and I have a fantastic coach. And I just want to say thank you for helping me get out of that procrastination thing, Jacqy, what I was going through. So my coach is fantastic.
I was going to say, what was I going to say? Visualization. Visualization is a really key tool when, especially when you're stuck, because we create these stories in our heads of all of the bad things that we think are going to happen when we're attempting to do something new. So if you stop for a few minutes and literally close your eyes and imagine the whole situation working out exactly the way that you want it to, and you start to funnel that sort of energy into it, and you start picturing yourself going through the steps, and you picture yourself getting all of the amazing feedback and all of the love and all of the praise and the support that you really want. It's amazing how it will immediately flip how you feel about it. The other thing is that feeling that we get in our stomachs right before we're about to do something new, or the adrenaline when it starts pumping through our veins, is literally just a chemical. And it doesn't mean don't do it. It actually means you're almost there, push through it. The more I get that queasy feeling in my stomach, the more meaningful I know what I'm about to do is. And therefore I will, like Jennifer, just take a deep breath and jump in. And if you need to, go and do a couple jumping jacks to move the actual adrenaline. That will also help. But visualization is an amazing tool for getting yourself moving, when you can actually see yourself doing the thing that you once feared and no longer do. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, you guys hear me?
Hi, Sam.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So I wanted to actually, I heard you kind of talking about, adrenaline or these kind of mammal kind of feelings. And it kind of reminded me of something that I kind of it was a conclusion that I had. I feel like sometimes, you get flooded, maybe like, there's what are they called? The responses like fight, flight, all those kind of, they're kind of like your reptile, low level, responses to certain situations. Something that I kind of found is that I started to realize that, like, I don't really have a lot of anxiety. I do a lot of martial arts, so I have a lot of kind of like, just breathing and control. And I noticed that a lot of people deal with like a lot of anxiety and stuff like that. And something that I kind of noticed was that I just one day realized that a lot of those chemical responses don't really serve me. Like, like if you're trying to keep your cool, like, so I operate in a very like kind of peak performance zone, kind of like your zone of like, you're not like fluttery, you're not like you're sleeping at night, you're not worrying about, over worrying or overthinking too much. And so what I came to the conclusion was that a lot of these chemical responses, a lot of these like reptile responses just didn't really help me. And so I would actually tell my body, and there's methods, there's things called tapping, there's all these kind of like low level like almost like programming your body kind of methods, where you can say like, hey body, like I appreciate you like kind of giving me like a warning of like, oh, like this is nervous, or like I should, it's almost instinctual. But a lot of that stuff I found just didn't help me. It didn't help me in the situation. It didn't help me perform. It just kind of flutters you out,
Yes. Yeah. And the more tools that you can have in your toolbox to use in those moments, and breathing is a really good one. Just to even stop and take a couple deep breaths can help you refocus, or walk away from it for a minute and then come back to it is also another one that is, when I get into overwhelm, I have to walk away because it allows me to clear my head and come back at it from a different perspective. Amazing. Ben, your hand is up.
Today here in the United States is Valentine's Day, no? So it's about love. And the chemicals of love give you the energy to do anything.
Yes.
So love, you can love so many things, but there's a moment that you need to do something. And sometimes you ask yourself why people do certain things, and they're not logical. They're not logical. You know why? Why? Because it's in building us to be empathetic with other people and to love other people as we love ourselves. Sounds nice, huh? Poetic. Huh? But it's true. And when you take that energy and you apply it in what you want to do, you need to love what you do and love what
serious,
you
right?
give. So thank you very much for that. All right, thank you.
Yuri?
Sorry, I'm just reacting on a Facebook message.
Oh, okay.
But well, I'm asking one question, and they go, "Yes." Well, can you elaborate on that, please? Don't just give me yes or no. Sorry, on this topic, like talking about confidence. One example I had. Nobody, I don't think it's a secret that nobody likes cold calling or door knocking or any of that nature. I haven't seen one person being confident knocking on the first door. And I said to my coach, like, what's the secret? How you do it? Like you've done 50 transactions a year on this. Like, how do you do it? And he goes, well, you just knock on 1,000 doors and you'll get comfortable.
Yes.
So unfortunately, there is no free pass or shortcut on those things. You get comfortable with the time. So
yeah. Catherine?
So Yuri, I'm actually comfortable knocking on doors. I love knocking on doors. That's something I've always done since I was 7. It's something I'm accustomed to doing. I was very good at it, but nowadays though, you can't really get away with that anymore. Unfortunately, people are going to call the cops on you. If they see you going door to door, they call the cops. And the cops come down the street and they do their little patrol and they say, hey, what are you doing going door to door? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So, unfortunately, you can't really get away with it anymore. Even though you do have your pass and you have your ID and all that stuff, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
People just don't accept that form of marketing any longer or outreach any longer. People don't accept.
Things definitely change. Adam.
Yes, I had a couple of things to add. Let me say this. First, I have a system that I call the 5 C's to confidence, and the third C is competence. And when this area is tended to in the right way, you can expedite confidence. And what I mean is, going into a situation, we want to have the skills required to the best of our abilities going into that situation. It can either be our own skills, or it could be the belief that we have in a system that we're implementing at the time. And when we go into a situation with the belief in what we're doing, then we can have what would be the next C in the system that I created, which is certainty. And the certainty is in taking certain action. So the better the information we have going in is, the more we believe the process, the faster we can learn from taking certain action, because then we will get the feedback out the other end, that positive feedback, more quickly in that scenario, as opposed to going into a situation totally blind and not having process going. And so basically I'm saying this because it's important to know if we want to expedite our process of building confidence towards success more quickly. And the other thing I wanted to say was to add to what you had said, Jacqy, which was using visualization. Our body is a great tool, and everything from our past is stored within our body. So we can use visualization from our own lives. If we dig into our past and we look at times when we're confident and we embody that, we put ourselves there, then we can get ourselves into that feeling of confidence as well, which can be a super powerful tool. It, I guess it would be referred to as anchoring.
Yes, it is.
Jacqy, yeah. I'll leave it back to you.
And it's amazing. I just finished a course this week where I was training people in some of those skills. And it's amazing how quickly you can access a certain emotion when you do take yourself right back to that moment that you felt it before. And really step into that moment and hear what you heard and see what you saw and feel what you felt. And you can cross over things like Adam's talking about. I was confident in this. So Lisa, at the beginning, when you were talking about, I'm confident as a mom, I'm confident as a wife, you can take those feelings and use them to then funnel into your business. If I can have confidence here in my abilities, then I know I can overcome anything here, because it's that skill or the ability to learn to be that, right? When you had your babies, you weren't immediately confident in being a mom, right? It was over time. You probably were running around going, I have no idea what I'm doing. And so it's over time that you built that confidence. So it's reminding ourselves that confidence does take time when we're doing it in new areas. I love that, Adam. And yes, anchoring is an amazing technique to help in those situations. One of the things I was going to suggest, has anyone here ever done power posing before? So power posing is a really good way. Adam mentioned, using your body to get you into a state of excellence or a state of confidence. So we all know superheroes, and you can pick your favorite superhero and think about the way that they actually stand in any of the pictures that you see of them or in the movies that we watch, right? Their shoulders are back, their hands are on their hips. The moment you do this, you step into that place of, I can do anything, I can take on the world. Hi, you. And Leo says good morning to everyone. And so this idea of actually just standing in that pose for 2 or 3 minutes, there are CEOs out there of Fortune 500 companies that will do this 2 or 3 minutes before walking into a important meeting, when they really need to show up at their best. And it literally only takes 2 or 3 minutes of standing in that pose and really feeling into that state of confidence, using your body to help you do it. The other thing that I was going to mention is, who's your biggest cheerleader? And think about in your life, when you have those moments of I can't, and remember, that's just a story you're just telling yourself, right? Who can you go to that's going to tell you you can? And having that person on speed dial for the moment that you get into those things, or that person you can think about who you know would be there in the back corner cheering you on and pushing you forward, even when you don't think you can do it. Anyone have any stories about that?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm going to actually just do a quick sum up at the towards the end of this, where I'm going to just mention some more about exactly what you're talking about, especially folks that use absolutes. I hate absolutes, right? You know, I never, you know, do that. I've never been able to do this, or I can't, or, you you always say these things, those kind of things. I hate absolutes. Anyway, we'll chat about those in a little bit.
Your biggest cheerleader should be you. You should be your biggest cheerleader.
And I agree. And sometimes when you're not in that place, who do you go to then, Michael?
I try not to go that place anymore. I've learned, certainly since I transitioned into this, that I have to find it inside myself, and that anything I do, if I decide not to do it, there's only one person that I'm sort of disappointing, and it's me. Yeah, because if you don't put in like the efforts, right, you just can't have the results.
Well, and I love the fact that in that you're taking 100% responsibility for your success.
Yep.
It is always nice to hear, wow, great job from somebody else too, though. Like that really does boost your confidence in the sense like, yes, I have my self-assurance. I know I did a good job. But when other people start chiming in to say, wow, Lisa, that was phenomenal. Great job. It's going to give you a confidence boost for sure. And then you're not going to have those absolutes where it's like, well, never before have I ever, but I just did. And that's awesome. So when you're hearing it and getting that assurance from somebody else, it's a visual. People are noticing what you're doing, and that can help you in everyday life or with your work. So I completely agree with you. It's just nice to have a little pat on the back sometimes.
It is. I'm going to jump the queue in front of Ben for a sec. Sorry, Michael. I got to invite our guests to another room in a second, but I was just going to say, Lisa's 100% right, because I just did some testimonials and I sent the video when I was done, and one of them I've got to redo because even I found out the trick to fix that, whatever, right? But they said, oh, it was really nice. And so I went, okay, well, I at least know I can put them out. But guess what? They also got dropped in Messenger. And if Ivan doesn't tell me, I got to go back and ask, what did you think? What could I have done? Right? Because it's just, he doesn't go, oh, good job. He just says, oh, it's really nice. And you could have done that. And I get that feedback, and I know I can take the next step, although I'm not there. I'm taking my next step, which is having that extra person kind of pat your back. And I'm going to tell the people that are guests, I'm just going to take you into another room and you'll never be seen again. No, sorry.
That's funny.
And we're gonna talk for a few minutes, and then I'll bring you back in for the end. Okay. Thank you for letting me butt in.
And Jacqy, if I can just take the moment that they're gone, just to kind of go through a short list that I have, because I'd love to have that kind of stimulate some conversation as well. Okay, just real fast. So I have. I just put together 10 quick topics, and I know Jacqy and Lisa, you guys basically mentioned most of this, but when you put them all together, it kind of paints a really simple picture, right? Of how simple it is to build confidence. All right, hopefully. So the first one is, of course, know yourself, right? Which I always say, know thyself. You have to know yourself, because nothing more damaging to your confidence is trying to do something that you know you can't do and then failing, right? So that's the first one. The second one is learn to say what you mean, right? Don't be trapped by ambiguity. Have we all ever stepped into a negotiation where we're not absolutely clear, and then we're not sure whether or not the customer is happy because we're not sure if we've delivered what they expect? So be absolutely clear on what you're saying. Practice asking and listening. Asking and listening. When you ask a lot of questions and the other person talks more, you are empowered, right? Build your confidence. Treat your body well. Adam mentioned about that. Of course, treat your body well. There are many things that go into overall confidence. Knowing that you're in optimal health removes health insecurities. health insecurities is that thing that's operating in your subconscious. You know it's there. I have a friend of mine from the church that I go to. I have some health issues I'm going through right now, but he says, "Oh, I haven't been to a checkup in a while, just because I know that there's something wrong, but I'm trying to see if I can get myself healthier before I go." I'm thinking, wow, what a burden you're carrying. All right. The next one is have a financial grip. Some people, or get a financial grip. Some people don't have a clue of where they are financially in relation to achieving their goals, achieving their retirement goals, or whatever it is. So therefore, it's really important that because we know, oh, I'm good. I paid all my bills for the month. That's great. So you have a financial grip on your monthlies, but you certainly don't have a financial grip on your overall goals. So definitely that's important. This number 7. Number 6 is have a productivity partner that you respect. Number 7 is stop telling lies. Be careful with absolutes. I suck. Everything I touch gets messed up. I can't sell. I can't learn. I can't go forward. Stop programming your mind as if you are already a failure. Absolutes, like she never listens to me. No one ever supports me. Everyone turns their back on me. Never, always, every time. These are rarely the case, so use them rarely. All right. Number 8, get stuff done. I remember when I was younger, my parents would say, you have to get your homework done, and you have to, clean up your room before you can go out. Well, some kids sit around and mope for 3 hours, and then they blame the parents for never letting them see their friends, right? But other kids come home and they get their room clean, they do their homework, and an hour later they're out, right? So the same thing to do with business. Just get it done, and then you can move on. Help someone, all right? So nothing builds confidence than helping somebody else, right? To see somebody else's gratitude and appreciation for what you have actually accomplished in their lives. So help someone else helps you to build confidence. It's also nice to know that you're that kind of person, right? It feels good to know that you're the type of person that helps other people. So help other people. And the last one is be humble. Remember, there are always people that are better off or worse off, better educated or worse educated, better relationship or worse, better car or worse, except for my car, because, I got a Volvo. No one's got a better car than me. Be humble. It takes a lot of energy to be proud and puffed up. You spend a lot of time defending your own ego. Takes a lot of energy. So it's actually a mental health issue. So be humble. Okay, those are my points. Any thoughts on those?
I just loved how you immediately followed up the statement, "Nobody has a better car with me than be humble."
I know. I should have thought about that. Should have put that one first. Yeah.
I love the quote from Oscar Wilde that says, "Be yourself because everyone else is taken."
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Good, bad, who's to know, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to add to the nevers, always, all of those statements you said that I canceled out. Remember, your unconscious mind takes everything you say seriously, right? And it will literally believe it. And so when you catch yourself doing that, simply restate it in the opposite, because whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
You're right. Well, the other thing is your unconscious mind doesn't understand don't. So
it won't. It doesn't process.
A phrase like drink and drive means drink and drive.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I always tell my clients, you focus on what you want and you say it the way you want it. So we get in this habit of saying, I don't want this or I don't want that. And that you end up attracting that into your life. Mm-hmm. Where if you say it the way, what do you actually want? And sometimes we don't spend enough time actually figuring out what we want. We just know all the things we don't want to have happen.
Right.
I've also used the thing when someone says, "You always do this." I go, "Okay, so tell me exactly, when did I last do that? What day, what time? Tell me that." They're like, "Wow, you're like, you do it a lot of the time." "Oh, really? Oh, it's a lot of the time now. Now it's not always."
I literally just respond with always.
Oh man.
You know, it blows my mind when people use that kind of language, because at the same time, you know, people are allowed to change. People are allowed to better themselves. People are allowed to build that confidence. And if you're going to speak like that, you're not even allowing them the chance to either accept the change that they have changed or help them, because maybe they need that little boost. Maybe they need to be that person to be like, no, at least you got this, you know, type thing. So very important to have that positive language and all the above.
and not giving yourself the chance to grow.
Right.
I wanted to speak to what Ivan sort of asked me there earlier. Who do I ask? And part of my sales process, actually, Ivan, is as I'm getting through that closer to the end, I ask my clients, I says, you know, has this process been valuable to you? Like, what did you find valuable in it? And I let them talk and tell me what they got out of the process and the positives. And that's
you know how many people are afraid to do that, Michael? They're afraid to ask because they're afraid of the answer.
Well, here's the thing about that is if you don't ask, you could be doing something wrong that could be costing you some money and success. Whereas if you do ask, you now know where you got to focus on, and you can allow yourself to become better and address those kind of things. And so I took a program with the cooperators a year or so ago, and there was a lot of little tactics and things that they put in there. Really, like, it was basically professional selling, and what do you do and how do you find out what your clients want, so that you can address their needs. And then when your clients are happy, your clients tell you they're happy because you did something positive for them. It's sort of like, it's a circle, right? But it does come back to, if you don't do it, you can't get the benefit from it.
Do you know, I have to jump in here and tell you why I have such a man crush on Elon Musk, right? So I was reading an article today where they were talking about how NASA and other space companies are, it takes them so long to launch. It takes them so long to create a vehicle that will go and do what it's got to do and come back and everything else. And along comes Elon, who has this goal of sending, rockets into space every day, right? Creating a colony on the moon and then on Mars. And he's doing something that nobody you would even imagine would be possible, to the point where the military is thinking about hiring him to take payloads into space to land somewhere else on the planet within an hour, right? I mean, think about the military advantage or strategic advantages of having that type of capability. And that's something that he's making available. Here's somebody who is not looking at what the competition is doing and saying, I just need to be a little bit better, or a little bit more efficient. He's completely rethinking the entire thing, which brings with it a certain degree of uncertainty, right? And worry, and maybe I'll fail, or but here with confidence, he's boldly going where literally no man has gone before when it comes to this type of technology. So this is where what makes him unique? What makes him unique is that he's kind of fearless. I don't know. I wish I had that fearless gene.
The other thing is he doesn't listen to other people.
He does not listen,
which is good and bad, as he's proved on many occasions.
Right.
But that's because logically, if you looked at it, people would say, you can't do that. And he goes, why not?
Right.
That's his response is, why not?
And Chris, he's changed the way that we think now of the future, right? I mean, because I'm an old guy. I thought I'm not going to see a moon base in my life. The way that NASA has been, taking forever to do things, right? So I just didn't think about it. But now the thought that in my lifetime we can not only see a moon base and an orbital station around the moon, and I think they have a new space station going up in 4 years or something, right? Because the existing one is coming down in 3 years. But you've got you're going to have a colony on Mars in our lifetime, right? Especially the young ones. I mean, you might even have a colony on Europa by that point, right? So what I'm saying is the way that we look at space, the entire planet looks at space, is different because of this guy. My man crush, Elon.
Oh, man. His hand up.
I got worried there for a minute, Ivan.
No, it's still you two. Still you two, man. Okay, Roshan. I dig you, man. All right.
You just like him because he doesn't have to go through all those board meeting props, right? Get everybody on board and let's study. Look, something needs to be done. Let's just do it. Does it make sense? Nobody's going to get hurt. We're not breaking any moral rules. Let's do it.
That's right.
Right? None of the BS that goes around typical boardroom meetings.
Yeah. With people in the room who are terrified that you're going to commit them to do work that they don't want to do. And the longer that they might be committed to do that work, the more they're not in favor of it, right? I mean, that's typically the way it works. So
and responsible for the outcome.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So really, I do get inspired by just the fact that, something that's impossible. He goes, okay, so, how do we make it possible? They don't go, well, no, that's impossible. We're not going to do that. It's just, how do we make it possible? Let's figure it out. And then they figure it out. So, and when you think about that, what makes him different, his brain, what makes him the way he thinks different than the way that we think? And would you tell him you need to be more like me, Elon, or do I need to be more like you? Right? That type of thing. Anyway, Stephanie, what do you think?
I was just saying with the Elon that you were just saying, he reinvents himself too, right? I mean, he's not afraid of failure. That's another key, I think, with him is he's like, well, yeah, fire me from, I start PayPal, let me go from PayPal and I move on and I create something new and great. So I think it's that fear, that lack of fear of failure that he has.
Mm-hmm. And I've watched him develop a ship, right? And so he's got a ship, but he's got 20 other ships waiting, right? That he's constantly building. But then halfway through, he's like, you know what? I think we're going to change the design. Then he goes back and he changes the design while he's got these other, he's constantly improving on himself. Like it's quite amazing to watch. Sorry, Ben, you have your hand up?
Thank you very much. I will add to what you say, because there's one constant in life. I put the picture of my girlfriend there. It's death. Death is the ultimate killer of all your dreams, all your desires, and everything in your life. Death will take it away. So, say that what you're fighting in your mind, in your body, is against death. But at the same time, we have a death wish too, in a very strange way. So this pushing in the future something in order for us to do something, it will be the death of what we want, because we cannot accomplish it. And in contrary, is if you get what you want will die. But at the same time, it will leave. So it's a contradiction. But you have to choose which one you want. And the best one is actually to choose to do it, to actually give it energy to your project, all your dreams, and everything you do in your life. Because underneath is the denial of death in everything in your life. Everything in your life. And I will say,
Evan, you have 4 minutes left.
Yeah, don't forget to tell somebody you love that you love them. And tell them more often that you love them. Even though it sounds kind of coursey, but you are loved, and please don't forget to tell them that you love them. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I want to thank you for that. That's a really great way to end off. Thank you, everybody. And by the way, I love you all. I want to end off, but just by repeating just some of the things. Right afterwards, we have the discussion lounge. So please stick around for that. And
for members, yeah.
For members, yeah. Members definitely stick around for that. And then we have Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. until 10:30. Nathan, can't wait for tomorrow when you do Money Matters. Please join us for that. And then Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. until 1:30 p.m. Jennifer Ferris and Jacqy Stewart. Of course, they're doing The Secret Sauce, Mindset and Momentum. Definitely join that. On Wednesday, 9:30 a.m., don't miss Real Estate Investing with the Yuri Nesbitt. And on Wednesday at 5 o'clock p.m., members and guests invited to attend the Kitchener Chapter virtual networking event until 6:30. And of course, on Thursday morning, we have Tech Talk with Catherine Davies. Catherine, how am I doing for time? I've got 2 minutes.
You got 2 minutes. You're good.
I really ripped through that one. But listen, I want to thank everybody. I'm going to go ahead and end now. And members, you can stick around for the discussion lounge. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yes, we hope we see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really super cool. Thanks.
Have a great day.
All right.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Have a good night.
Have a good day.
Bye.